Hello, I'm actually here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee with my really good friend Jimmy Tan. And today we are going to interview Jimmy about an amazing transformation that he had. And he's been seeing amazing fruit and multiplication. And Jimmy, could you please introduce yourself a little?
Yeah, my name is Jimmy Town. I came from Hong Kong. I was born and raised in Hong Kong. My family is a typical Chinese family. We worship idols. We worship the Buddha. And then I encountered Jesus, and he changed my life. And I felt called to serve him, to make disciples. And I went the traditional route, going to seminary, starting a typical traditional conservative Chinese church in Los Angeles in the year 2000. So now it's been 16 years.
Wow, okay. So, what you were pretty frustrated at some point, and you were very thirsty for a new direction. Could you tell us a little bit about that? How you heard about this new direction and where you were?
Yeah, since we started in 2000 for the first 14 years until 2014, we only saw like baptism, like maybe on average like 5 to 10 baptisms a year. So we remain a very small church, and I was thinking, the gospel is more than that. It's more powerful than that. So what's wrong? And it seems like the traditional way of like attracting people, bringing people to the church didn't really work until I encountered you. I met you in 2 years ago in 2014, and you shared with me there's another way. It's called church or disciple multiplication, church multiplication. And I was very interested in doing like these micro churches. And you have been doing that in Israel, so I was thinking, whoa, you can do it in Israel. I think I can do it also in Los Angeles too. And that's got me, started in this journey in the past 2 years, and it's an amazing journey. And we're seeing amazing results that we have never seen in the last 14 years combined.
Yes.
So yeah, it's really amazing.
I actually remember you canceling your own workshop in this conference we were at to come to the workshop because you were so hungry and so desperate for this direction. Can you tell us a little bit about the fruit that you've seen and what's been going on in Los Angeles and some of the other places?
Yeah. The first year, we had like 10 people from our church. We were a church of 50 members, and we have 10 people started to really want to do this, to try something new, to go out and make disciples with this new multiplication approach. And in the first year, we were learning a lot of things, but in the second year, this past year, we are really seeing more amazing results. So in this past year alone in Los Angeles, we had 20 simple micro churches started, and 20 secret groups started just in LA. And we also train people, work with people in Hong Kong, in the Philippines, and with my pastor friends, with Pastor Gary, with Pastor Ray. And we have now, just counting the numbers, three locations together. We have more than like 70 home churches or micro churches, and another like 70 to 80 secret groups. Combined together, we have more than 250 baptisms in 1 year. But in those first 14 years, I only saw like 5 to 10 baptisms per year.
Wow.
So yeah, it's an amazing thing that God is doing.
So many people out there listening could think that here you are, a traditional pastor, and you are transitioning your church to become a multiplication church. And what does that look like, and how did your people respond, and what are some of the things that you're seeing today in your church?
Yeah, I think first of all, you need someone who have been doing this and having fruits to come in to train our people, and to not just train but also coach us. We had you. You came in to LA. You did one initial training, and then you start coaching me. You start guiding me through the process and helping me, because in one training you just get the information, but more importantly, you need someone to walk with you. So I feel so blessed that you were there to walk with me. And we had an initial team. Initial team of about 10 people that really, after the training, they really caught the vision. Not just caught the vision, they were committed to put it into action. So we just had a small group within our own church to try this. And as they go out and try this, and they're seeing some progress, some result, and we have them share their testimony, share their stories, share their experience to the whole church. And eventually more and more people got excited, and they're seeing that, okay, if these people can do this, because they're just normal church members, then the other people were saying, I can do it too. I want to give it a try. So right now, after 2 years, we have about 70 to 80% of the church members, about 40 people are committed and to do this, or just they're willing to try it. And and they're baptizing people. They're starting seeker groups. They're starting home churches almost on a weekly basis now. I'm hearing these stories on a weekly basis of stories of healing, story of transformation, story of meeting persons of peace, finding persons of peace, even like on their job, like when they're in McDonald's, all these places out there. They're making disciples. I feel so blessed as a pastor. Now I'm not the one doing like everything. I'm seeing that God is using all of the members, reaching people for the kingdom. Yeah.
Wow. So would you also say that your own people, as you've released them, have they become more mature? Have you seen their lives change and what they're doing change?
Oh, definitely. They now feel the Christian life is much more exciting than just sitting in a church, listening to the pastor week after week, but having nothing to do. Like their job was like just be a good listener in the church. That was like the definition of a good Christian back then. But now they're so excited. They not only the adults, even like families. Their kids they're bringing their kids out there to their neighborhoods and to people's families at homes to make disciples as a whole family. Wow. Like for example, my daughter Abigail, she's 11-year-old this year, and I took her with me to visit families, and she had her first baptism, not her own baptism. She was baptized already. She has her first baptism, baptizing some a 19-year-old girl this year, and she was so excited. Like instead of just having the kids like in Sunday school, like year after year after year, they have so much head knowledge. Now she feel like, whoa, I can experience Jesus, what Jesus did, like firsthand, and Jesus is using her. And we have like several families like that doing it as a family.
Wow. And so Jimmy, now you are also not only a practitioner and leading your own church into this, like we talked about earlier, you're involved in the work in Hong Kong, you're involved in the work in Philippines, and you're also training pastors, I know in Vancouver. You recently today just trained a pastor here in Murfreesboro. What would you like to tell other pastors, and would you be willing to actually train other pastors and bring them on this adventure that you've been going on?
Yes, definitely. I think like it has been a journey for me. I'm still learning a lot of things, but with the experience that God has given us, given our church, I would think that can be encouragement to other pastors and other churches that have been like really praying and seeking for a new way or a way that would bring them back to the gospel, bring them back to what Jesus did and what the early disciples did, that it can happen right now here in America and in different parts of the world. So I like what Jesus said, freely you receive and freely give. I'm more than happy to share our experience and to help other pastors if they want to start a journey like what I experienced.
That's amazing. And how can they get a hold of you, Jimmy?
They can contact me through email.
What's your email?
My email is jimmyttam@gmail.com. And I'm also connected with a group called GCN, the Global Catalytic Network, and you can visit their website too.
Okay. Very good. thank you, Jimmy, very much for being with us today, and thank you for sharing this experience with so many people.
Thank you for having me.